Good morning from Varna, Bulgaria. What I plan to do in this episode is to show you a few very interesting sites located in the middle of the country. One of them will completely blow your mind. Even Bulgarians do not know the full history of it. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. As I told you, these sites are located in the middle of the country, which is meant around 2.5 hours ride, but that is my job. You just take your seat and enjoy the journey. Of course, I cannot show you all of this without my Bulgarian Wikipedia, my friend Plamen.
Hello guys.
Thank you very much. Let's move because we do not have any time to waste.
Let's go.
It will be highways, nothing really to film until we get there. About 2 hours later, 2 hours and 20 minutes actually, we arrived in Veliko Tarnovo. We're gonna fill the tanks now and we'll go to see the first point of our day trip. The temperature rose from 8 to 18 degrees. This is a big difference. It was cold early morning. Veliko Tarnovo is one very beautiful town and definitely deserves to be seen. The most popular or the most famous attraction is Tsarevets, right over there. Fully restored with the wall, gates and everything. Everyone know about it. So I highly recommend to come and visit it, but the purpose of our day ride is not Tsarevets. It is something different, and as I said before, very interesting. This is the complex of Tsarevets. You can see the wall, all the hills, the church, the palace itself, everything. Just got our tickets. The church actually is over there. 40 the Holy Martyrs, and this is Yantra River, and on the other side you can see these typical Bulgarian houses, and this is a famous bridge made by Koliu Fichito, very famous old master, still exists after more than 100 years. So let's go in now. Are you ready to give me some history? History lessons?
Of course.
Always. The
If
Holy
you'd like,
Martyrs
we can make
Church.
a screenshot here.
Yes,
so
I
the
can
guys
do it.
later on can read it.
Okay. Very beautiful designs.
Velika Lavra.
This is the church. These are the original columns, yeah?
Yeah. It is the column of Canas Iubigiu Murtac, one of our rulers, son of Krum the Great, Krum the Terrible. Actually, it was the exact point why we came here in this church, to show it to you guys. It is the attempt for transliteration in Bulgarian. I'll make a transliteration for you in English so you can understand the meaning of the script on this column, and after that with Pavlin we will show you some very interesting and interesting model expressed. This column used to be in Great Preslav in the castle. Actually, it was like 2 years ago. We showed you there the round church, the golden church.
Yes.
And this column is transferred from there here and put in this church. What's written on the column is Canas Iubigi. It is the ancient title of our rulers. Canas Iubigi Omurtac, living in his old castle, built old glorious castle on the Danube River. And when he measured the distance between the two castles, he built a old glorious tomb, and that tomb was built in the middle of the two castles, and the distance between the two, from the old castle to the tomb is 20,000 rastecs. It's a measurement for distance, and from the Danubian castle to the old glorious tomb is again 20,000 rastecs. And the tomb itself is old glorious, and when I measure the earth, pay attention, when I measure the earth, I built this script and put it in this column. A man, even if he lives well, he dies and another one is born, and let the born after him, and later on when he sees this script, to remember the one who put it on the column. My name is Omurtak Kanasubigi, and may God give him to live 100 years.
Okay, so that basically means that they've got a knowledge to have this exact distances, and they talk about we measure the earth.
The earth, and not the earth as a land, the earth as a planet.
Yeah.
Because those 20,000 rastecs are directly connected with something very interesting, and we shall go on that old glorious tomb, and I'll show you a map, so you can visualize on Bulgaria, on the Bulgarian map, where is the tomb, where is the castle on the Danube, and where is the castle, the old castle, or the Great Preslav Castle. Okay. So the distance is absolutely equal.
Here you can see part of the original walls. And what is interesting here, you just show, these are like tombs of many ancient tsars and rulers. But this one here is Sveti Sava Archiepiscop Srpski. So, Serbian guy, or whatever.
Serbian Archbishop.
Yeah, Archbishop. This all proves that we've all been together for thousands of years before we were split with different countries and nationalities.
Just pay attention on the bull's head.
Okay. What
it's
about
a symbol of the old religion before the Christianity.
Okay. So here we can see the Cyrillic alphabet.
Yep.
But over there on this column was
it's an ancient Greek script before the Glagolitic alphabet even.
Okay.
It's written in Old Greek.
So, Plama, please tell me, what is the significance of this place and why we came here to show exactly this and this monument?
Okay, guys, I'll be quite short, because if I start telling the entire story, we shall stay a month here. It is the grave of one of our rulers. He is called Tsar Kalyan. He is the one who actually defeated the Fourth Crusade to the Holy Lands, led by Baudouin of Flanders in 1205 nearby nowadays Odrin, a town in Turkey. He is the one who led the Bulgarian army and defeated the so-called Latin Empire. And this one here, probably some of the guys who can read Cyrillic alphabet will read it. Here is written Besar. Why it is so significant? Because it is one of the, probably the oldest ancestor of the nowadays known as Vlad Dracula, Vlad III Tzepes, because he is from the Asens dynasty as well as Tsar Kalyan. Actually, his name was Ivan Besar, who is the grandfather of the first Wallachian ruler Ivanko I Besarab. So they gave the first rulers dynasty of the Wallachian kingdom. So guys from Romania, Bulgaria is not only Buzluja, you can come and see this as well. It's directly connected with your history.
So he is like a grandfather of Vlad Tzepes. Yeah?
Exactly.
The famous Vlad Tzepes, or
Vlad
the ruler Vlad Dracula. Yeah,
exactly.
The ruler of Dracula Castle.
It's like 4 generations before him, his grandfather is here.
So this is another one proof that we are everywhere. We Bulgarians are everywhere. It doesn't matter that we are a small country in the middle of Europe. We actually...
Actually, my firm belief is that we are all here, the so-called Thracians, we are one nation, divided nowadays by economical and political reasons.
Yes.
So we are one whole, like a
family,
like
big family.
a big family. Yeah.
True. So tell me, if we have all of this, if this is our history, why is so unknown even for Bulgarian people like me?
Honestly,
Honestly.
it is called the curse of Asparuch. Asparuch is our first ruler at this side of the Danube, the Kana Suvigi Asparuch, because we are located on a very strategical geographical position area.
Yeah,
and if here
Balkan.
lives a strong nation with firm beliefs that they are a great nation, not like now, what's stamped in our brains that we are insignificant, small country, blah, blah, blah. If here is a great nation, we will rule and own one of the gates of Europe.
Yeah, because we are on the gate. Yeah, exactly. The road, the gate between Asia and Europe.
Exactly, and when here lives a weak nation, as we are currently now, everyone else from abroad can command us.
Or and just pass our gate.
Exactly.
Okay, makes sense, yeah. But our mission is to show all of this to the world, to Bulgarian people, so they can feel proud again, and who knows, this might help to our country to become stronger as before.
Exactly, and it's not, excuse my French, jabba laba, just like those days we are the greatest. No, guys, there are lots of great nations on this planet. The question is, we are one of them. We are one of the 3 civilization layers in Europe. We developed one of the scripts, the Cyrillic alphabet, which is the 4th recognized by Vatican holy language on which you can preach the Christ words, the Bible. There are no, actually these are the Latin, the Greek, Hebrew and the Bulgarian. No other holy languages recognized by Vatican. Also on our alphabet and our language are speaking currently around 500 million people. This is the Cyrillic alphabet.
Yeah, true.
How many nations do you know with all their own script and alphabet and language? I can tell you, there are less than 10 in the world.
Okay, so if we survive for thousands of years, that means we're gonna survive again, yeah?
Yeah, I
one
think
way
so.
or another.
I think so. The question is, we need to teach our youngsters all this glorious history so they can feel proud and to feel well grounded on this land because it belongs to us.
I know that this might be a lot of information for you and you cannot really assimilate it right now, but with our next stop I'll try to summarize everything for you, what all of this information actually is and how does it positionate our country in the world map. I would like to start with this view from here. And this is the actual monastery, Преображенски монастир. So, Plamen, what we're gonna see here?
We shall see the eternal calendar, which is very well represented and connected with the human's life. So it's one of the oldest monasteries in Bulgaria, and this fresco at the wall outside has been restored several times, but it is restored to its original shape and overlook. It has never been modernized, so it stays like from the establishment of the monastery.
So we came here because of this calendar, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, tell me, what is the difference between this calendar and the calendar that everyone knows and got at home probably, and how old is this and how old is the traditional Gregorian calendar or whatever the name is?
Yeah, okay, as you said, the calendar that everyone is having at home now is called the Gregorian calendar because it has been developed or invented by Pope Gregorius. And it's not as precise as the Bulgarian calendar, because the whole thing is based on the 365th day, which, in order to divide it and to make the calendar precise, it's quite a mathematic if you follow the Gregorian rules. But to make the long story short again, let's ignore the theme about how the Bulgarian calendar is structured. I'll tell you that it is very old, and it leads its beginning, as you saw in one of the columns. It was written 6,738 years of the beginning of the world. So the beginning of our calendar is from 5,504th year before Christ. And it is quite an interesting story. We shall tell it to you one another time. But
we have to stop here and say, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. And now, based on this calendar, the Bulgarian calendar, the year is divided on 4 equal pieces by 3 months in every piece.
So you can see the 4 pieces, one here, one there, one there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every piece is spring, summer, autumn, winter. Okay? In the spring, you make love, you sing, you prepare the ground for the harvest. In autumn, you gather your crops. In the autumn, you gather fruits of the trees and blah, blah, blah. In the winter, you stay close to the fire and eat whatever you have gathered during the year. And this is also connected with the human life.
And these are the months, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. March, April,
May. So each
June,
one of these got like 3 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And based on the Bulgarian calendar, every first month of the quarter is having 31 days and the other 30 days. That's it. No 28 days as February by the Gregorian calendar, no such things. But it's another story, we shall tell it another time. And just to mention one very interesting fact, on every 132,000 years, our calendar, the old Bulgarian calendar, is having deviation of 1 day only, 24 hours.
Okay. Unbelievable. And how wrong is Gregorian calendar?
Well, it's that wrong that on every 100 and some years you have to compensate the calendar with several days. For example, when the Gregorian calendar was introduced in Bulgaria, it was, as far as I remember, 14th of April 1916. So they skipped 14 days. Those people who were born between 30th of March and 40th of April were written as born before 30th of March or after 14th of April.
Okay.
So they needed to compensate 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So if you are born in these 2 weeks, you actually does not exist. Yeah. What is the story of this rock over there?
This rock, actually, the monks here in the monastery consider it as a wonder, because this rock was actually up there. And it fell down without touching the tower with the bell and the church as well. So it's like a real miracle, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It ruined the entire place here without touching anything holy, like the church and the bell tower.
Interesting.
Свали шапката само.
And of course, the old pavement. And more scripts. Yeah, real holy place. If you have to tell to someone what is Bulgaria and what are our origins and how all of this that we saw today is connected with our history, what you will do?
I'll try to explain it as to 5 years old, very shortly, with things that they can understand. For example, the official history states that we are here from 680.
Yeah.
But without showing the so-called nominalia of the Bulgarian rulers, where the date where the Bulgarians are ruling in these lands already is 165 after that.
Okay.
Which means 2nd century after Christ.
Okay.
So if you have document, you have history, right? No document, no history.
Yeah.
And these people, as you already saw, were not some sort of a savages or wild people without knowing anything. They were quite good in astronomy, astrology, architecture. You saw what kind of bridges, castles and churches that they built. And they are not nomads, because the nomadian culture does not have the culture and the possibility to build such buildings out of stone. The nomads are having sticks and tents.
Tents and yurts.
That's it. Here, all the traces that are left from the ancient Bulgarians to the Second Bulgarian Kingdom are huge cities built out of stone.
Yeah.
As I told you 2 years ago, like in Pliska,
Yeah.
it's 22 square kilometers town built out of stone.
The reason we stopped here is this hill over there. You probably cannot see it really well because the camera is wide angle, but there are a number of hills and one in the middle. I'm gonna make a picture and show it to you. So this is the Bulgarian word is mogila, but this actually means artificial hill, usually made as a direction point or tomb or something similar. But we stop here because here's the best point that you can see it, at least how it looks like. When we get closer, you cannot judge of the size. A little bit more descriptions before we go to the second big mogila. I already told you mogila is artificial hill. So the one that we saw from the highway, it's over there. The one that we are going is there. And Mother Horse Rider is there. And a big basilica in Pliska is located there. So if you have this in perspective, it makes like a big triangle. This is the mogila that we saw earlier. This is the second. This is Pliska Basilica, and this is Mother Horse Rider. And this distance here is exactly 23.4 degrees. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it later. Because we're in this place now, we decided also to show you this spot. You can see how it looks like on this picture from the top, and the map here. It's actually a very old ancient Thracian holy place. There are a few stories about it. Some say that this is actually like a graveyard of some important people. Others that these stones are brought here to mark this place as a holy place. Who knows? But this is one of hundreds of places spread everywhere around Bulgaria that people don't know anything about. This is the hill that I told you, mogila. Let me see, is there any road to get closer? Because I want to climb on the top, but I don't want to walk that much. From here we will walk to the top. I dropped a lot of water to come here, but the view is spectacular. Unfortunately, it is against the light, and other mogil, the first that I show you, the first artificial hill, is over there, straight ahead. And here on the top, everywhere, you can see signs of some stone buildings. There is a story said that here on the top, it was a big fortress, because from here they were able to see everything, and when a fire is lighting it on the other side, they can see it here as a signal. So yeah, this place is very important, at least for me, and I will tell you the rest of the history once I go down to meet Plamen. More stones and former buildings, I guess. Yeah, the view from this side is even better because the light is different. On the way down should be much easier. Anyway, I enjoyed this moment very much. I can prove that there is no way to come here with a motorcycle unless you're some kind of trial champion. Otherwise will be impossible, in my opinion. See what it is. Fantastic spot. All right, my mission to climb this hill is completed. I came down, but Plamen, please clarify what is important to these two hills, or mount is the actual name of this mount. Mount, it's an artificial hill. Okay, what is the significant part of these two mounts that we showed today, and mother horse rider and everything?
Well, guys, this mount and the mount at the Mogila village, they are very special landmarks because together with the mother horse rider, they make an angle of a triangle with an angle between the two sides of the triangle equal to 23.4 degrees, which is actually the inclination of the axis of the earth in comparison to the sun. So you might think that it is a coincidence. Well, there are some facts that can blow your mind, and we are going to present them to you. Here are some facts, and you'll understand right away that it is proven on solid mathematical basis. We all know that the planet Earth is not a precise sphere, and it is a so-called geoid. It means a planetary object squashed a bit from the poles to the equator. Let us now measure the equatorial diameter of the Earth, which is equal to 12,756.28 kilometers, and to subtract from this diameter the diameter of the poles, or the pole diameter, which is 12,713.56 kilometers. The difference between both is exactly 42.72 kilometers, or with the rounding factor 42.7 kilometers. How about that, huh? You might say it's a coincidence, and of course you can say that because you still don't know the rest of the information based on the surrounding landmarks.
So this 42 kilometers are actually 20,000 rustics, yes?
Exactly, the stretches
What
that
we
we were
said earlier.
talking about, the stone column in the 40 Holy Martyrs Church in Veliko Tarnovo.
All right, continue please.
Let's check if you would be right to be skeptic. One of the most valid and proven theories for the location of the three mentioned objects is for the formation that's comprised of the palace of Veliki Preslav, the mount at the Voivoda village that we are currently at, the Omurtak's tomb in the Sveshtari complex that we will show you later on. So far, so good. But what if we continue with the pointing out the other close by landmarks and try to visualize them? Nearby the old glorious Voivoda Mount that we are currently at is another huge mount located at the Mogila village that we showed you at the highway. The Mogila village is located on the eastern ridge of the Madara Plateau, where on its western edge is located the famous Madara horse rider. When we put all these landmarks on the map and draw a line to connect them, a very strangely familiar spiral shape appears. And strangely enough, it ends at another important landmark, the fortress on Cape Kaliakra. The most strangest thing that this line is precise to a distance of a meter or so. If we draw squares, a position spiral shape, we get the precise square shapes of the mathematically proven sequence of numbers and their correlated ratio, or the so-called Fibonacci numbers, which forms the base of the Fibonacci spiral. It's worth mentioning that Leonardo Bonacci, known as Fibonacci, was born in 1170, or nearly 3 centuries after Veliki Preslav was built. We use Veliki Preslav as a reference in time because nobody knows how deep in the past are going the roots of the rest of the landmarks that we just told you about. And Veliki Preslav was pointed as the second Bulgarian capital in the late 19th century, remember? All the above was researched and mathematically proven by one of our prominent specialists of logic and methodology of science, Professor Christos Molenov. I think it was enough information for this episode, so let's wrap the things up at this point and summarize them. What we learned from this video is that long before the official history accepted the scientifically proven astronomical properties of our planet, our ancient ancestors were using them on a regular basis during architectural planning and building process. Isn't it amazing, huh? I wonder how much more ancient wisdom can be found on this sacred land.
My friend, thank you very much. This is
You're very welcome.
a wonderful information.
I hope so.
I hope that at least one or two people will appreciate it, because it is very important, and I will be more than happy if more and more Bulgarians and people from around the world learned about our history.
Yeah, exactly. And we have told that several times that it is not important only for the Bulgarian history. It's important for the
world
human
history, yeah.
Civilization as a whole.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
See you
All right,
next time.
guys. See you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.